gentlemen, welcome back to the 4th episode. I know you guys are loving this. Everybody's watching it. How many subscribers we have, Mark?
I think we're up to 19.
We're up to 19 subscribers.
Yeah.
All right, we had a little bit of technical difficulty in that. Lady, our mascot, if you knock this over, lady, you're outside of the rest of the night. Now we will do that to her. But welcome back to another edition of Headlocks and Happy Hour. I am so excited about this one because we were talking about the man who made me love wrestling, the one and only, the immortal Hulk Hogan, and the great biography that Netflix does an amazing job with their biographies. Hulk Hogan, Real American. I recommend it. You'll laugh, you'll cry. Some people get butthurt, whatever. So we will be talking about that. That's our main topic today. Joey, as you can see, is not with us. Our co-host Joe Sheck. He's been on a little bit of a mission trying to find out where Mr. Lakefield's clandestine location is. Have you found it yet, Joe?
No, I haven't, but I still will be looking.
He's still looking for it, and he told us he was going to go out and try and find it. Other note, I received a note today from Mr. Lakefield. He will not be on this show. He refuses because we got a hold of, believe it or not, his twin brother.
Mr. Lakefield's got a twin brother?
Mr. Lakefield's got a twin brother. I think I'm going to like this guy a lot better than Mr. Lakefield. He's agreed to be on the show, and it's fitting. You'll see why it's fitting. He's going to be on the show a little bit later on. But Mr. Lakefield said as long as he's on, he will not be a part of the show. So that's a good thing. Now, Mark Sheck's here, my other co-host. Mark, what are you drinking tonight?
I'm drinking the Miller Genuine Draft MGD from a bottle tonight. We had a little malfunction with the freezer. After this episode, I'll be defrosting it outside.
Yep, and I'll still be here drinking in the water.
It's technical difficulties with production early on, and then also freezer issues. So you're probably hear Lady bark at some point, and yeah,
you know what? It's all good. We don't edit it out. We keep it going right here.
Yeah, we can, absolutely.
It's all real here. Well, Joey, what are you drinking?
I'm having a Mike's Hard raspberry lemonade.
Raspberry lemonade. Joey Sheck, Billy chucking it up. I am having, of course, once again, Hulkamania forever, baby. Real American beer for Hulk Hogan and the Real American documentaries. Unbelievable. Before we get to that, let me take a swig. Gentlemen, a lot of things have happened since we last met right before WrestleMania with WWE and TKO. A lot of people let go, gentlemen, that I was not expecting.
Yeah.
Joseph Sheck has the list. Joe, who are the list of the people that you have there who were let go?
Well, I have Zelina Vega, Kyrie Singh, Aleister Black, the New Day, all the Wyatts, Zoe Starks and Apollo Crews, which is odd because they never used to release people that were on the injured list, and they're both on the injured list. So I don't understand that one. There's a couple guys that are in development, and but the only big name that I see in NXT that got released is Andre Chase. He's the only one.
See with the Chase University?
Yeah.
Yeah, they were entertaining. I really
liked it. He's the only one. I was very shocked about Aleister Black. You know, they brought him back, and then he was only there a year, and then they released him basically on the same day that they released him on the day before, a year before.
It's crazy. And I liked him. He was a hell of a talent, and I liked his character. He did a great job in AEW as well. A hell of a talent, Aleister Black. I was, of course, very upset to see the Wyatt Six go. Bray Wyatt, as anyone who knows me know, is one of my all-time, when I say all-time favorites, he is up there with me with Hogan, Piper. I love Bray Wyatt. I thought his mind was unbelievable. Unbelievable talent, but his mind, he was just had a brilliant mind for entertainment, creation, and I love the guy. The guy mesmerized. When he died, I was heartbroken. I stopped watching it for a while. But the Wyatt Six just had a big thing at Universal last year. They had their own ride, the Wyatt Six. And I don't know what, I mean, no offense to anybody who's writing for WWE or what they're doing, but I don't know how you can't come up with stuff. These guys, you know, they came in like a great thing, what they did with Raw, and they beat everybody up backstage, and just after that, it was over.
Yeah, I mean, there's a rumor out there that TKO doesn't like the dark characters. I don't know how true that is, but yeah, I mean, I think the release kind of shows like the state of wrestling changing, right? Like historically, when we were growing up, like you always had the house shows, right? Like it's a TV show product, right? And if you compare it as a TV show product, right? Like look at all your major shows on TV, right? They don't have a lot of, you're not having 100 cast members, right? Like so if they're gearing it to a TV show product, you don't need as many people as you had before if you're eliminating the house shows, right? Like these guys are probably, house shows, filling those rosters and things like that. But like I said, if you're a TV show product, you don't need to. I don't think you need to staff as high as you used to.
Yeah, yeah. And then they'll maybe do like a little house show here and there, just to take it on the road. But you're right. I think they're just. But then again, then there's people. No, I don't want to see anyone get fired. I actually hate seeing people get fired. I think it's horrible. But then you have there's about 3,000 American lucha conneries. What the hell? They're America. What the hell's the guy's names? What?
Americano.
Yeah, I'm sick of seeing that. They wrestle every week. Like there's 8 of them. Like it's like you're gonna keep having that match every week. So I go to take a squirt. But Mark has done some financial look into our TK. Mark's our financial guy because I can't add. But Mark's our financial guy, and then they did come out with TK Group Holdings, right? They came out with the
TKO, the parent company, WWE came out with their earnings this past week for the first quarter. Just a couple of highlights, right? Their revenue was about $1.5 billion, up 26% from last year. Their net income was up $89 million, approximately up from $58 million a year ago. 2 milestone thing: WWE revenue was $475, up 22%, and UFC revenue was $401, up 12%. Couple kind of key growths from WWE was obviously WrestleMania and premium live events boosted their revenue. Saudi Arabia sponsorships also helped. Continued increase in sponsorship and advertising revenue increased significantly. And then from a UFC standpoint, the new media rights, including the most recent Paramount deal, and obviously a continued international expansion. So yeah, I mean, it was probably it looks to be one of their higher grossing quarters, which is a little odd. I know probably we just talked about why if their revenues are all time high, why would they release things? What I would say is earlier 2 things that lead me to believe. I think the first is a move to a TV show product, but I also think there's a potential quarter here where they don't think they're going to do well, right? And they're trying to get ahead of that from an expense standpoint, right? I would probably say their second or third quarter probably isn't going to be on target.
It's summertime too. Summertime. Yeah. They have after WrestleMania, it's got to be a downswing.
Yeah, so I mean, again, they're probably looking at their earnings and stuff, and they're hitting career target numbers, right? Which leads me to believe you cut 50%. You're doing it this early in the year. It's definitely some expense reduction. So they may be trying to get ahead of something, right?
But then again, my man Tony Khan got a raise.
He did.
And a new contract, so he'll be there for.
So did our buddy Triple H. He also got
it locked in. So I mean, if I'm a guy who just got released, I'm a little pissed.
Yeah.
But
but apparently they're doing more.
They're in charge. What's that?
They're doing more. They're going to release more. They said more are to come. So
who the hell else? Who just said it just released? Piper Niven? I liked her.
Piper Niven. That means if you think about it, there's nobody with Chelsea Green no more. She's up by herself.
Which, by the way, Chelsea Green get well soon. She just had a heart procedure done.
Yeah, she had Alba Fire. She had Alba Fire with her, and Piper Niven, and they're both gone.
It's unreal. So I hate to hear that. I hate to hear that more people are going to be let go. Because you never want to see anyone let go from WWE or from anywhere. So best of luck to those talents in their future endeavors, right, Joe? Is that what you say?
Yep,
that's going to be good because a lot of them make a lot of money in independents. I'll be honest with you.
Look at Matt Cardona, right? What he did, he skyrocketed, right? And parlay.
Yeah, but the people who they said took the 50% pay cut, do you think they took it because they thought that, WWE is basically the only place they can go, and some of them ain't going to make that much money on the independent scene.
It could have been. Could have been. But I think if you're in WWE, right, Vince used to say, what can I say, Vince? Vince used to say he gives you opportunity. And that is, you get on TV, you become known, then you could be in Des Moines, Iowa on a weekend or wherever and make a lot of money. A lot of people do it. And I know I love going to independent shows to see those guys because when you see them in WWE, you see them in an arena. So you're all up. But I mean, I saw Elijah, I've seen, you name it, I've seen them up close and personal at these indie shows. Go up, talk to them, and just a cool experience. So I know if I see any of the Wyatt Six anywhere, I'll be going. And I hate that there was also Bray Wyatt's legacy that's going to be now not there. But,
Yeah.
But here's to all of them. Best of luck to all you guys.
Yep.
I'm sure we'll be seeing you. Thanks for the entertainment, and hopefully you're back in WWE one day. Go out and kill it in the Indies, and we'll all be rooting for you. Enough of positivity here on Headlocks and
Absolutely.
Happy Hour.
Absolutely.
But we are now heading into the documentary, Hulk Hogan, Real American, on Netflix. Before we get into any of it, we're going to review every episode in a nutshell. We're not going to go through everything, but in a nutshell, Joey, I'll go to you first. What did you think of the documentary as a whole?
I liked it. I think it tells Hogan in his real life. I think it really shows like how he became what he was to millions of people, and I think it also showed that I feel he generally was a nice guy. I know a lot of people say, he had, and everybody has issues. So I mean, you can't judge him on one thing. So I think it really showed that he was just an all around nice person, and I enjoyed it.
Yeah, Mark, how about yourself?
I guess so. The first thing that I'll say is I cannot believe how bitter of a human being Bret Hart is. I just can't is unfathomable that he is this bitter of a man. Like I just don't understand it.
It's kind of sad.
At this point, like I don't like it's. Yeah,
it's kind of sad.
I thought at one point he was gonna somehow weasel Goldberg's name into it at some point, but in terms of the documentary, what my impression is I think the outside world, the people that don't watch wrestling, watching that, I think you can see why wrestling is as popular as what it is today. I wasn't a Hogan guy growing up. Like I said, I was always a big Ric Flair guy. I was like the bad guys more, but like I think you should give credit where people open doors, and what he did for pro wrestling today is fantastic. And again, Chris said it before, it's about like opportunity. I think there's a lot of unsung heroes in that, right? That they don't dive in, but obviously it's on a Hulk Hogan's biography. But I thought it was great. I thought it was good to understand his story. Had no clue that Jimmy Hart had went to high school with Lawler. Didn't know that. That was kind of a fun fact. I like the story. I like the behind the scenes. I give it new perspective to Hogan. Like again, Joe, you said he's a really nice guy. Like he genuinely loved the fans, right? Obviously, it's clear that the fans love him. I think everybody Hulkamania is iconic. It's always going to, it's a part of American history at this point, right? And I thought Netflix did a fantastic job. There's definitely some parts in it that I don't like the Weasel Bart had a guy with the wrestling guy, like just complaining.
The historian?
Yeah, the historian.
I didn't call a wrestling historian.
I mean, we're a wrestling podcast. How do we just
19 listeners.
Yeah, we set up a YouTube.
So that guy's saying the same thing about us.
Yeah, we set up an iPad and started talking. Right. So, yeah.
I loved it. 2 thumbs up. Great job, Netflix. Amazing. We're going to dive in. Before we dive in, you guys remember the first time you ever laid eyes on the Hulkster? The first time you ever saw him? Ever? You remember what it was on and where was it? And your thoughts? Do you remember any of that?
I think I don't know if I remember a specific time, but I vividly remember watching him on Saturday morning. Right, I vividly remember being a kid watching him on Saturday morning, and yeah, so like that, I do remember that piece of that. So I don't remember like the first time, but I do remember like a big part of like my Saturday morning routine.
It was it. Saturday morning, Joe. Was that it for you?
Well, Saturday morning, yeah, but I think the biggest one that I remember is him slamming the Giant. I mean,
We're gonna get into that. Yes.
after seeing that, man, I thought I could slam anyone too.
Well, you tried to slam Mark, and that didn't go good for you.
So
Sleep. First time I remember seeing him, I'll be 100%, was live and in person at the Spectrum when he went against Kamala, the Ugandan Giant, who also became one of my all-time favorites. I was a little boy with my uncle Terry, who was with us, my sister, and that's the first time I saw a real life, to me, was action figure coming to life, because this guy was huge.
Yeah.
And as a kid, remember, we were big action figure fans, a little boy, so this was a living, breathing human action figure that we watched every single Saturday morning.
Yeah, and I think the point of the documentary talks about like the comparison of superheroes, right? Like we grew up in the greatest superhero of all time, Christopher Reeves as Superman, right? You had Michael Keaton as Batman, right? But you couldn't really touch those guys. Like Hogan was the first superhero you could touch, you could see in real life. So yeah, yeah.
A lot of things we didn't know. Of course, we're going to start at the beginning. The Rise was the first episode, and they talked about Hulk's beginnings. I didn't realize I had a big thing in common with him that Linda said. Hulk was a mistake child. So was I. I think I was a mistake. And I think I came out of the womb doing this shit. But I was a mistake. I don't know if it was a C-section because I was that. But that right away got me pumped up because I knew the Hulkster and I were eye to eye, bro. But Linda, and he had. Sorry, Mom and Dad. I'll tell you this. I hope they don't watch this. They don't watch. Believe me, they don't watch this. Also, I never knew. This is something I never knew. The Hulk had a brother, Alan Bolea.
yeah,
You know about Alan Bolea?
no, I was done.
And I didn't realize he had somewhat of a rough childhood.
Well, his dad kicked him out. Yeah, his dad wasn't happy. I mean, you think about that a lot. You hear that a lot. People going into the arts or doing anything, where you just get kicked out of the house. And of course, the guy was in a rock and roll band. We talked a lot about that. Which, imagine that. The guy was huge. Going in and seeing this guy play.
Yeah.
And Mark made a good point, too. He really, when he saw wrestling, he believed it. Until he was a grown man, right?
That was pretty shocking, too. And I kind of, when he tells a story about hearing him talk for the first time, like, hit me, like, he couldn't believe it. Like,
Yeah, he heard the guy say hit.
And I think at that point he's in like his young 20s. That was kind of like, that was interesting. I'll say that. Like, yeah. I mean, again, I don't like to use the F word because it's not fake. It's orchestrated entertainment. But I can't imagine being in my 20s not thinking a guy's coming down with theme music and others like isn't a thing. Greatest show on earth. I love the pageantry, sports, entertainment of it, but yeah. But again, like that was the belief, that was the system back then. It was a little bit different. Those guys stayed in character all the time. So yeah, but yeah, it was neat. It was neat. Like you see, generally loves wrestling, like the average fan. I think honestly, anytime you have an appreciation for your craft, like the common folk, only makes you better at it.
Yeah, and he was a pudgy kid. He was also a pudgy kid. Had boobs. He said he wouldn't take his shirt on the beach. He said he had boobs, and I was like, well, I know that feeling. And a lot of things. What I couldn't believe, and this is something that, as kids, we used to wrestle, and we used to get hurt, right? But nothing like, you don't realize what it takes to get into the business, because the training, they make you what, Joe? They make you want to quit, right?
Yeah.
Well, they try to ultimately make you want to quit.
Listen, not to jump ahead of episodes, right? But under the thing of like, for those that Like, watch episode 4 when they're showing X-rays of Hulk's spine.
We're gonna get into that too. Yes.
So, just if you don't think like, oh my God, that matters, like light and all that stuff. Like, look at the X-rays of his spine, and then go, maybe it's harder than I think.
Hiro Matsuda trained him.
Well, they broke his leg.
Broke his leg.
Yeah.
Broke his leg because they didn't want him in it because he said they found out he told people he was going to be a wrestler, and that annoyed them. They broke his leg.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't know. Mark should not jump ahead. The Richard Belzer story. I did not know that.
We're going to get into Belzer. I'm a comic. I like Richard Belzer, but that whole thing was messed up.
Never knew that story.
Yeah, I remember seeing footage.
The best reaction is Mr. T in that scene, but we'll jump. Not Mr. T is utterly just sitting on the couch hanging out.
Hogan smacking him in the face was funny. Too.
Yeah.
But he breaks in the wrestler, goes to Memphis. They talk about the Memphis thing, and I thought it was pretty cool to see an early vignette. You know, you see WWE now, they have on the big screen, they have all this production value and everything. It was funny to see Hulk's first vignette. He's standing on Jerry Jarrett's table.
Yeah.
Kitchen.
Yeah.
Did you see that?
Yeah.
And he shows him, and they're just going, the Hulk. And it's just him panning up.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It was just funny to see the early. And back then, it was probably like, oh my God, this is huge. Like Kamala's first vignette was in Jerry Jarrett's backyard in his grass. You know, Kamala looks like he's coming out of the jungle, and so that was pretty cool. So I think the first episode's a lot of just him starting out. Not a lot of the wrestler we saw, but a lot of stuff that happened when he started out. He met Linda, his first ex-wife, right, Joe? Joe, what did you say about Linda?
Linda just like to sleep around.
Well,
Every story.
I guess you like to.
Every story.
My favorite
Every
story.
story talking about it. Every time she talked about Hulk, it was them sleeping together. That's all she cared about.
Well, him too, apparently. When they first went back to the apartment, I wouldn't have the balls to do this. He took her back to the apartment, he goes in the bathroom, he's not naked.
Yeah.
She was like, how would you like to bang a giant? So I'm like, no. It wouldn't have been the same with me, believe me. It would have been horrible. I was also shocked that Jesse the Body was in this. Jesse the Body Ventura is known for not liking Hulk. He never did. As Bobby Heenan said, the late great Bobby the Brain Heenan said, he was just a little jealous of Hulk. He said, there's a shoot interview with Bobby Heenan or a video where Bobby said, Jesse had a great body, hell of a talker, but when a bell rang, it was over. That was it. He wasn't Hogan.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like you hear like him come out, him say stuff about Hogan, and then in the documentary, he's like, "Yeah, we all wanted to be on his show because we knew we were getting paid more."
Right.
Like he knew.
Yeah.
Even Jake Roberts said that.
Jake did.
And like Mark said, Brett's just bitter. Mark said Brett's just bitter as all hell, and he didn't care.
And we talked about, the Hulkster. He finally went into Vince McMahon Sr. And he was Terry the Hulk Boulder. Vince gave him the name Hulk Hogan. And then what happened? What happened when he was there, guys? He made the move.
Yeah, he was in Rocky 3.
That's right.
As Thunder Lips.
Thunder Lips, the ultimate male. What a great movie and a great part. My favorite Rocky, actually.
Yeah, Meatball. Yeah, no. Yeah, it was, yeah.
Then he had to go back to Memphis after that for a little
Well,
bit.
he got fired. Vince Sr. told him he had to do the movie, and I think he made the right move because he became a big star from that. Everyone knew him from Rocky. And Vince Sr. gave him the name. So when he went to Minneapolis, AWA, he really started developing that character, which was really cool to see. He started doing the shirt ripping. He started coming out with the American flag. So he started doing that whole Hulkamania gimmick started before he got to, back to WWE. And then who came to calling, Mark? Your boy.
Vince McMahon Jr., yeah. Right. Vince McMahon Jr. So I said I think there's a lot of unsung heroes. Hero may not be the right term, but Hogan is definitely one of the reasons that we are today. But you talk I like history a lot, right? But I think history is about getting the right people all together at the right time with the right moment. Like for Hogan to be successful, he needed good bad guys. Roddy Piper, Andre the Giant, right? The Sheik, right? All guys that were also legends themselves. He needed a promoter that was a visionary, right? I.e. McMahon, McMahon, who saw the value in him taking the role in Rocky III, like his dad did it, and building from there. So it's neat to see that of like, hey, here's a guy with all the skill sets, presented for the opportunity, and boy did he run with it.
And he had it. There's a lot of people online who are, because they're mad at life, but they don't like Hulk because of his mistakes that they say. They would have did it without Hulk. They wouldn't have did it without Hulk. Vince's guy, apparently if Hulk Hogan wasn't the guy, Vince was going to go with Dusty Rhodes. Now, I love Dusty Rhodes. Great talker. But
I don't think he could have carried.
no, because he didn't have, like I said,
Yeah.
Hulk was the action figure. He was the big guy. Not only could he talk, but he had that physique and that look and ran with it. Vince was a visionary. Hulk went out and did it, and they took over the world. It's really what they did. And it opens, episode 2 opens. How about that storage closet?
Yeah, that was cool.
Episode 2 opens where he goes into his storage
And
closet.
he had all the.
All the memorabilia, which I was thinking this is a wrestling fan's dream in here. And I thought he pulled out a calendar with all his dates. The old calendar, instead of putting them in your phone, you wrote them in a calendar. And January 23rd, 1984 was written. And all I could think of was how much, if they auctioned that off, that calendar,
Oh yeah.
how much do you think that would go for, Joe? A wrestling fan framing that. For those of you who don't know,
Joey
A $500,000?
what's that?
$500,000 probably.
I could, yeah. And easily, I think. Some of these wrestling fans would pay. January 23rd, 1984 was when Hulkamania was born, and he beat the Iron Sheik from Iran. Iran. Ah, fool!
That made me like the Iron Sheik. I like the Sheik.
Oh, I love the Sheik. And he was a great. See, back then you could throw in a little bit of what was going on in the world now. Because people weren't, people were pro America. They wanted,
Yeah.
You had Iron Sheik.
Well, actually, it wasn't people. Everybody was pro.
Everyone was pro American,
yeah. Somehow we lost that along the way.
Oh God, there we go. And I love this. Parents finally came and saw him. His dad came. He said, "My dad came around." Well, I would too if you're making millions now. You're making a lot of money, but they weren't making millions yet. But they were getting there. It was interesting to see that before WrestleMania, Linda said they were living in an apartment in the ghetto in Greenwich or Connecticut. Or
Yeah,
something.
which I didn't think get it.
Well, it could have been the ghetto for them.
So yeah, like
They were making $3,500 a month. Apparently.
back in the late '80s, like it's like 12, like with inflation, it's like 12 grand.
Yeah.
So yeah.
And that's just when it started. The Hulkster. One of my favorite vignettes is him and Mean Gene training together, and to fight Mr. Fuji. Who did they fight? Mr. Fuji, someone else. I met Mean Gene in Detroit with my buddy TJ, and we met him in the elevator. And TJ brought it up and said, "We loved when you and Hulk fought Mr. Fuji, and I forget who the other guy was. Was it Tanaka? I forget." And he goes, "Yeah." He said, "That wasn't my bag. I did not want to do that." And he said the whole thing was I wasn't supposed to get in the ring. The match started and Hogan tagged him. So I guess he kind of surprised him. And he said, "I did not want to go in the ring. I didn't want to do that." So I thought that was really funny. My phone keeps dying here. Here we go. I got all my notes on my phone because I watched it again last night. Let me see here. We're getting this is where I was at now. Well, before I do that, how about when Hogan trains? I tried this one time. I threw up. You ever tried the thing with the eggs in the glass?
Yeah.
Did
No,
you try that, Joe?
not doing that.
Do it that way.
Well, I threw up. It wasn't, and This was yesterday. But I thought I'd get out there and train a little bit. After I watched it, it didn't work out. I threw up all over the sink. And then it brings us to WrestleMania 1. Now, Mark brought this up. I'm going to bring it up. My all-time favorite guy. I loved Hogan, obviously. Hogan's a given. But I loved Piper. Loved Roddy Piper. And, you know, Hulk and him used to argue who made WrestleMania. You know, because Piper said it, everyone wanted to see Hogan beat the crap out of him. Now, I agree with that because Piper did a lot of legwork with his trash talking, and people hated Roddy Piper back then. But I still think Hulk, you know, Hulk had it. Man. I just think he had it. But yeah, for that Mania, I think you needed Piper and Orndorff. Well, yeah, you can't count out Paul Orndorff, who's one of the greatest of all time. Did you like Mr. Wonderful, Joseph?
Mr. Wonderful. I love Mr. Wonderful. I was a big Piper fan, though, too.
Yeah. And, you know, you threw in Snooki, you threw in Cowboy Bob, and that's when you knew it was going to be something. All the celebrities are there. Muhammad Ali, Liberace,
Cyndi Lauper.
Cyndi Lauper. It was just, and to think, I don't know if I know this, but think Vince put his house up. They
Yeah.
if that didn't go anywhere,
He was done.
we wouldn't have been sitting here.
Absolutely. Yeah.
We'd have been, I don't know where we've been. We would have been sitting here with talking about another podcast. We wouldn't be here talking about this. What else happened there? After WrestleMania 1, this is what you were talking about, Joe. I wanted to get to this. So this is what I thought was a little messed up about the Belzer incident. Richard Belzer, great comedian. I do comedy. I like Richard Belzer. I thought he was funny. And they were going, you'll see it in the thing, I don't ruin everything, but you're going to the talk show circuit. They're going to see, and they had one more to go, and they went to Richard Belzer. The kid, they told him kids were there in wheelchairs. There were no kids there in wheelchairs. Belzer was running off at the mouth about wrestling, told Hulk to put him in a hold. Belzer flopped, hit his head, busted wide open. Flopped like a fish, sued him for what, $500,000? So this is right before WrestleMania 1. Sued him for $500,000. Now, do you think Belzer deserved it, Mark?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, so put it this way: like, also knowing who Vince McMahon is wouldn't be surprising me if it's like Vince meant that to be a shoot to get publicity. I can only imagine going into WrestleMania, right? Like the heat on Hogan beating up the Hollywood actor comedian, right? Like is now top news. Right, going into WrestleMania, right? So it wouldn't shock me if somebody was like, yeah, Hogan, you know, McMahon kind of told him there were kids in wheelchairs knowing that it wasn't. But yeah, I mean, absolutely. Like, you don't go, like, the clips that they showed, and again, they didn't show the whole thing. I didn't see the whole thing. But what it showed was almost like he was trying to embarrass him. I think he went past the edge of being funny to, like, humiliating him, right? And at that point, it's like, you know, this is Hulk's livelihood. He's passionate about it, right? He's on the road. He's missing family. There's a lot of opportunity behind it, or you know, and a lot of sacrifice that he makes. And for somebody to challenge that, like, yeah, absolutely. Like I always say, like, do stupid things, win stupid prizes, right? So yeah, absolutely. Like I mean, he got choked out and he fell on the floor. And he
flopped like a fish.
He cut his head from hitting the floor, but you know. But again, the best part is like Mr. T just sitting on there and be like, yeah, Hulk's he's sleeping. Yeah.
From there, Joe, they're millionaires. Linda and the Hulkster, Linda said her bank guy calls her, says you got $1 million in the bank. And they're millionaires. Now they're spending life on the boat. They're banging everywhere. That's what Joey said. Joe, what do you know about life?
Yeah.
I mean, they're just living life. I love seeing the behind the scenes. I love seeing the house party with Hawk from Legion of Doom and the anvils there.
Oh, that was
Brutus
great.
Beefcake.
That was great. Yeah.
God only knows what the hell they were blowing up their nose, but it was a great scene.
Yeah.
You know what's funny about that though? Like we all talk about like what Hogan and Vince, like what they had to do to put on WrestleMania 1.
Yes.
Dude, he was at Saturday Night Live the night before WrestleMania, doing a promo thing for WrestleMania.
Yep.
That would never happen today.
No sleep.
Like he was like basically going on show after show after show just to promote it. So not only did he put his financial thing, he put his health at risk. I mean, he probably was getting no sleep, and then he had to go in and work out every day. So he really they both put a lot on the line to make that show possible.
And not only that, he became a hero. He became a hero to millions of kids. And you hear nowadays, you hear about John Cena. Now, John Cena, God bless him, all the Make-A-Wishes he does, amazing. But the first John Cena was Hulk Hogan.
Yep.
When Hogan got into trouble with everything he said, whatever he said, Hot Rod was on a show right before he died, and Hot Rod said, I don't hear people talking about all the good things he did, how he was on the Wheatie Box and all the Make-A-Wish foundations he did. He was John Cena long before John Cena was around, long before there was social media, so you couldn't see what he was doing, and he never missed a stop. And you saw him with, I'll admit, live here, I was bawling my eyes out. You see him with kids, kissing little kids on the head, telling them he loves them, kids in wheelchairs. And this is filmed from like their families are filming this, not WWF. Yeah. They had nowhere to show it, The guy was as charitable as could be. He knew what it was all about. And he said it made him a better person. Look, we all make mistakes. We're going to get to the mistakes. But we're not much because we're talking positivity here with the Hulkster. But, that touched me a lot, the Make-A-Wish Foundation.
I agree.
And I know it touched you guys too. Right, Joe?
Yeah, I'm always I was always a big fan of Hogan for doing that, and Cena does it now. But like you said, Hogan was the original guy, and the thing is, Hogan probably did much more because probably like you said, there was no social media. Now everything they put on social media, there's probably thousands of things that he did that you don't even know about.
Mm-hmm. Yep. And we keep going, man. We keep going. He keeps getting bigger and bigger. We hit WrestleMania 2. He beats Bundy in a cage. And we go to 3, the big one. This is what catapulted him to unbelievable stardom, if he wasn't big enough. Where him and versus the late, great Andre the Giant, the 8th wonder of the world. Just unbelievable, that match to me. The lead up to that match, where was it? Piper's Pit. Where he rips the cross off the Hulkster, and I can remember almost crying in that. And Hogan, as a kid, and Piper's like, you're bleeding, and kind of walks him off. And the best part about that match is Hulk didn't know what was going to happen.
Nope.
Yeah.
Andre would not tell him. Yeah. Andre was ripping cases of wine, ripping farts, not telling him. In the back. That was, and I remember not seeing that live, but seeing it later on. And that place, to be in that, I would have loved to have been in that place. The place was electric. Just an amazing thing. And I think one of my favorite WrestleMania matches, if not my favorite. What about you guys?
Yeah, definitely agree. I definitely think about like favorite WrestleMania matches. Like you have like Taker versus Michaels, right? Both times, but obviously that's the match that kind of put WrestleMania on the map. Most people, when you think about WrestleMania, remember Andre and Hulk, right? And that's WrestleMania 3, right? So yeah, definitely iconic. Yeah.
And we keep going. We keep going 4. I was at WrestleMania 4, which was epic. My buddy Chris Mack, shout out to my buddy Chris Mack. I don't know if he watches this, but his favorite story of mine when I was a kid was from WrestleMania 4, when the Burks took me and they sit me down in the row, and the lady's trying to make conversation with me. She says, and where are you from? And I said, Houghton Street. And she goes, he's from Philadelphia. I said, my street, whatever. Like a moron. She's like, he's from Philadelphia. He's special. WrestleMania 4 was unbelievable. Andre walked by me. He was the biggest guy I've ever seen in my life. And the Hulkster was a tournament. Hulk and Andre fought. It was unbelievable. 5 was the first time 4 and 5 were at the same venue. Trump Plaza. Ooh, I said Trump. Trump Plaza, Hotel and Casino in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Donald was front row. The first ever pay-per-view I ever saw, or I was ever allowed to get, was WrestleMania 5. Hogan, Savage. Who were you rooting for? Honest, Mark. Who were you rooting for in that match?
Oh, dude, I like Savage.
He's a big
I
Savage.
was a Savage. Ooh, yeah. I like Savage.
Who were you rooting for, Joey?
Hogan.
Mm,
I was always a Hogan guy.
that's right, you were. I remember your Christmas video as kids.
Yeah.
Mark took everything, and Joey got a big Hulk doll and was walking around in a ring and nothing to play with. 5 was great. How much? Here's another question. I've just brought it up. How much Hulk merchandise did you guys have?
I did not have.
You know, one thing.
I don't remember. Joey always got all the Hulk stuff.
I still have the wrestling buddy.
Yeah.
I still have the
What
action
do you do with
figure.
that? What do you do with that, Joe?
Well, it's a PG show.
I still have the action figure. So
Joe,
and
you
I
have
have
the vibrating action figure they recall?
no.
That was the best part. When that Hulk goes, well, they came up with a vibrating action figure, they had to recall it. I don't know why.
Yeah.
A little too much playing around with the Hulkster. A lot of the ladies back in the day with the vibrating action figure. I was a fan of the cartoon. Remember the cartoon? Hulk Hogan's Rock and Wrestle. If you want to see it, go on YouTube.
Yeah.
I think my favorite part about that cartoon is, and I forget what wrestler said it, you had to pass a drug test to be in it. No, you didn't. There'd be no one in it. There's no way you would pass a drug test to be in that cartoon.
It depends what drugs they were testing
Right,
for.
exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Because there's no way any of them be in it. What is unbelievable, we can speak on this, guys. As kids, you know, we see them as heroes. We see them when they come to the Spectrum once a month. The schedule these guys had.
Oh
The
my God.
Italians had. Their dad working 300 days a year, right? With no days off. Not seeing your kids. Not, you know. I mean, speak on that. How tough had that had to be?
I don't know. I mean, if you look, I mean, that's one thing I wish like you could see is like they showed you his like his date, but I would like to like just read it and see like because he used to say like they were on the road 315 days out of the year. I mean, and then not to mention all the travel you did, so that takes away another 20 days. So what do you?
Make a wish stops.
Yeah, so what do you got? Like 25 days at home? Like, I mean, I mean, I couldn't do it.
Did you do that, Mark? You leave and you don't see your kids for.
No, I couldn't. I couldn't.
Yeah.
No, I think I could definitely not. No.
It gives you all more respect for these guys and ladies.
Yeah, I mean, it's clearly definitely changed, right? They don't have that schedule,
which I think is great.
I think it's good. I mean, there's a focus on the family piece of this.
Yeah, because you see, it hurts a lot of families.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, it definitely does. Yeah. I think but yeah, like back then, crazy schedule.
And if you got hurt, you had to work.
Yeah.
Or you lost your spot. You know.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And compound that, like I said, we're talking about how these guys are superheroes. Hulk's a superhero. Then he's dealing with his brother. He loses his brother to an overdose. And you don't think about that. These guys are still on the road when they still got problems at home.
Yeah. Yeah. No. Yeah. I mean, yeah. You kind of you felt from there. But again, it like the documentary like makes him human, right? Like it's
Yes.
He's dealing with it. He's dealing like I mean they go obviously into that more with episode 4, but yeah, like the family issues. Like hey, he's human. Like he's a superhero guy, but he's still dealing with the day-to-day problems that everybody else is. Yeah,
and he wanted to wind it down. He wanted to really wind it down because it was getting to him. He wanted them to come up with a new superhero, and they tried to come up with a warrior, but
he found miserably.
Joey, how do you really feel about the warrior?
I don't know. I mean, when you were a kid, I mean, a lot of people liked him, but after hearing like some of the stories as you get older, he just seemed.
Yeah, I liked him as a kid too, and then like it's like
he seemed like he was a real.
Seeing the promos now, it's like man.
Well, I liked him, but he just didn't have. I loved him as a kid. I loved him. I was a huge Warrior fan. I still like the guy, but he wasn't Hulk. He didn't have what Hulk had. He didn't have. Once he ran down, once again, Bobby Heenan said it again. The tassels, he shook the ropes. That was it. It was over. And he was right. After that, not knocking the guy. That's all the guy needed, really. But
He's a Bill Goldberg.
yeah, he was. Yep, he was. That's all Goldberg needed, right? He's not
Yeah.
Hulk. Hulk had the complete pack. People say, "Well, Hulk couldn't wrestle." Oh, yeah, Hulk didn't need to wrestle. Hulk, all he had to do is this, do this, give the leg drop. I mean, he could walk out and do not just look at the crowd, and the crowd would go nuts for
Yeah,
an
I
hour.
think people need to realize that, like, he's 6'7", 6'8". Like, the notion that he needs to wrestle, like,
Yeah, he don't.
he doesn't. Dude. He's a big guy. Like, Andre the Giant didn't wrestle. Like,
No, Andre was a big attraction.
Yeah, like, what do you? Yeah, so like, just sometimes people just have unrealistic expectations.
Yeah, and they don't know what they really need.
Yeah.
And another thing I was shocked. So WrestleMania 6 happens. They give it to the Warrior. He's not doing well. I think he holds up Vince. Vince fires him. Something.
Yeah.
And then they bring Slaughter in as an Iraqi sympathizer.
Yeah.
They realize they did the same finish that Sheik did back in '84.
Which is great.
I never realized it till this.
Great, yeah.
It was crazy. It was like
Listen,
the exact.
listen, I told you it's a TV show. It was a nice rerun.
It was a rerun back in the day. And it was, wait a minute. Hold on. All right, he's ready. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so excited right now to introduce, like I said, Joey's trying to find where the clandestine location of Mr. Lakefield is. We cannot find it. We don't know where it is. But we have located his brother, who apparently is the biggest Hulkamaniac in the world. And he is with us today. Did you guys know this?
I didn't know this. I still didn't believe Mr. Lakefield has a twin brother.
Twin brother.
And you're telling me he's the biggest Hulkamania fan.
Biggest Hulkamaniac. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome the ultimate Hulkamaniac.
Well, you know something, brother. When my friends from Coliseum Video told me what Thomas J. Lakefield was perpetrating, brother, I had to come out of retirement, brother. I was satisfied, training, saying the prayers, taking the vitamins from my own clandestine location. But now, brother, the 24-inch python is coming after you, Mr. Lakefield. All I gotta do, Mr. Lakefield, is tackle one of the greatest entrepreneurs, one of the greatest billionaires of all time. But you, brother, you gotta beat the purest form of the truth, brother. Hulkamania. And when you were little and I used to slap your ass all around till Daddy sent you to the boarding school. And I went to the streets of Venice Beach, California, brother, and I started lifting, brother. Every day, all I thought about was Thomas J.
I'm fired up just watching him, brother. Fired up just watching him. The ultimate Hulkamaniac.
Wait, did he go?
He left.
We should have asked him if he knows where his brother lives.
I don't think they talk much.
Oh,
I don't think. I know Mr. Lakefield wanted nothing to do with being here because he was going to be on.
Can we get him back?
We'll have to have him back on, and we'll have to ask the question.
I might have to go find him instead of Mr. Lakefield.
Well, I'd like to have them both on at the same time if we could do that at some point, and have them both maybe work out their differences on a show and see why they do not like each other. But Ultra Hulkamaniac, I love you, brother. You're the best. Thanks for taking time to be with us.
Could you imagine that household growing up?
No,
Mr. Lakefield and then the Ultra Hulkamaniac?
No, I cannot. No, I
I
cannot.
mean, it's just
A lot of fighting.
Yeah.
Brings us to episode 3. Hulk talks about retiring. Episode 3. What made me laugh about this whole thing was all the wrestlers like, bullshit, he wasn't going to retire. Like, he's the only wrestler who ever said they were going to retire and didn't retire. You know, Roddy Piper's retired 1,000 times. You know, Flair. I don't think Flair's still retired. I think Flair's going to come back. I don't know.
I thought Flair died.
Woo! Yeah, he might do. Yeah, I got a kick out of that too. Like, apparently, I guess that's like the unwritten rule in wrestling that, like, you know, you have your whole career is a retirement tour, I guess.
Right,
But, yeah.
exactly. And I think right here, we didn't do that yet. Oh, we did talk about. So here's another thing. So the steroids start to come out, right? Everyone's upset. I'll be honest with you. Hulk, to me, could do no wrong. Hulk goes on Arsenio Hall. She said he got him his job. I don't know if that's true. Hulk went on Arsenio Hall and says he did not take steroids. You know, and everyone's like, bullshit. And then it comes out he did. I didn't care. I honestly didn't care if he took steroids or not. I still love the guy. I didn't feel any ill will about him. Did you guys, did it upset you?
No, I never understood why that was such a big deal. Like I get it for
His health.
I get it. Yeah, I mean it's a decision for him, but I get it for other sports, right? Like I get it for baseball and that, right? And although I don't, you know, like I understand that people are like saying, oh, there's some advantage to it, like, but it's never bothered me. I didn't care if he lied. Like I just thought it was like I don't know. Like I thought it was just product of the times that, you know, it was made illegal. They were looking for an example. Like Hogan was, you know, McMahon was that, and Hogan by default. But I just thought it was, yeah, it just didn't make sense to me.
Yeah, and what about you, Joe? Were you upset when the Hulkster said he
No.
took steroids?
No. It never bothered me. Like,
Joe, did you ever do steroids?
no, look at me. Do I look like you?
Joe, I can't see. I feel like I'm your dentist. Would you back up?
I mean,
I'm looking in your mouth.
if steroids was more food, yeah, probably I would. But
Viagra yet, Joe? Are you on the Viagra?
no, I don't need that. But no, it never bothered me because I think, first of all, they all were doing it. Number one, I mean, the Warrior had to do it the most.
Oh, God.
So, but no, that never bothered me.
No. And we come into WrestleMania 9. The Hulkster returns with Brutus the Barber Beefcake for a horrible boating accident. Got hit in the eye.
Yeah.
Some people say Savage knocked him out. I don't know what happened. But comes back. The main event that night is Yokozuna versus Bret
Hart.
Hart. Right? The best there is, the best there was, the best there ever will be. And Bret's a little bitter.
Yeah, listen, I've never ever met Bret Hart, right? With the whole saying like you don't want to meet your heroes, right? Like I loved Bret Hart as a kid. I remember going to the Spectrum and getting the you know, the overpriced shades, hoping we would, you know, I was foolish enough to think that the high level he would actually walk up the steps and give it to you in the nosebleed sections. It wasn't going to happen. But like you just talk about like a fall from grace from the guy is bitter. Like I just don't like. Yeah, I don't know whether it's just something in his DNA that he can't be happy. I don't know, but it's just it's comical at this point. Like I just like everything. Like I was kind of shocked. He said something nice. Like he also said about like getting on Hogan's card because you would make money. And I was like, well, at least that's a positive. But like, yeah, like
you can't deny that. That's just
so like just the bitterness thrown in digs. It's like, you know what I mean? Like, listen, like Hogan doesn't take steroids. Like there was a dramatic shift. First off, Hart, I got a kick when Bret was like he was the guy that they picked. He was like the de facto guy because there was an image there at the time that the steroids they did not want to go a big guy. And they looked at two guys. They looked at Bret Hart and Shawn Michaels, and they didn't think Michaels was ready yet. And obviously, Michaels eventually jumps him and then go from there. But, like, Hogan doesn't do roids. Like, I don't know if Bret Hart is Bret Hart today because he doesn't get the opportunity that, like, he does, right? So, yeah.
And what did you think of Bret, Joey? Were you a Bret fan?
No, never was.
Yeah, you were. He's from Canada. He's used to sing like a dumbass song.
Sorry.
No, I liked Owen. I never was a Bret Hart fan.
Bret Hart guy.
Well, like Mark said, that guy is just a bitter old man. I mean,
Well, you know, it
I think any documentary on wrestling, if they need a guy to just be bitter, they should just call him up.
Well, he does say, yeah, he does get pissed off on every documentary. But what's funny is I watched that whole pay-per-view, and I'm sure you guys did. The ending of the match was Yokozuna getting hit with, Bret Hart came in with Fuji dust.
Kabuki dust.
Yeah, the Kabuki dust and going down and then losing. And then Hulk comes out. The place is erupting. I mean, they're going crazy. He says they didn't want that. And even that historian guy with the bald head, we didn't want Hulk Hogan to win. It was Bret's time. Hulk. They're saying this while the footage is showing Hulk winning and the place erupting, going crazy. Because I was going crazy. Because we were all excited to see Hulk back. Because Bret, you're great. You're a great wrestler. You're not Hulk. Sorry. He was the guy. And that's that. Having said that, I did see after that, you could kind of tell the red and yellow was starting to wind down a little bit. You could see it. You could see the signs of it. And Hulk's all of a sudden gone. What did you think of the Hulk movies? What was your favorite Hulk Hogan movie? Do you have a favorite movie? Because I'll tell you I loved No Holds Barred. And I loved his show. I loved Thunder in Paradise. I was a big Thunder in Paradise fan. Did you guys like that show?
I like when he guest shot.
Just by looking at you, I can tell it's no.
I like when he guest starred on Baywatch, which I think led into the Thunder in Paradise. But yeah, I don't know if I watched Thunder in Paradise.
Okay, so Mark wasn't a fan of the movies. Joey?
I thought Mr. Nanny was
Joey,
fun.
it wasn't on Skinamax at 1. It was
No, only Piper did those movies.
I didn't know Ronnie was at Skinamax movies. Oh my God, bless him. I did not like him even more now. Why he's doing these movies? What's that, Joe?
No, but I like Mr. Nanny. Thought that was good.
Classic. Oh, my classic. None of them won an Oscar. None of them won an Oscar. But I like the Hulkster. I liked his movies. I liked anything the guy did. That was my whole thing. Then he goes down south, ladies and gentlemen. Eric Bischoff goes and talks him into coming to WCW. Old wrestling. With God rest his soul, the great Turner just passed away. What did you guys think when he went to WCW? You were a WCW guy, Mark.
I was always a WCW guy. You knew it then. Like at that point, you had heard the rumors that like Ted Turner was involved, had a ton of money behind, was overpaying guys, and they were trying to make a run for his money. At first, right, I thought them bringing the older guys to kind of beat up the established talent was a little bit thing because again, to your point, like Hogan left when I thought the red and yellow was kind of on the tail end. Of course, he's always a big draw, but you had up and coming guys like I think they had like Sting at the time. You still had Ric Flair. You had Lex Luger. You had some other guys where I think they had like a good group of guys, but I think what helped was the NWO storyline is one of the best storylines ever. Like, I think you can ask any guy in their 40s what gang they want to be growing up, and they're all going to tell you NWO. They all want to tell you, like, they want to be, and then they go redder. You
couldn't go anywhere without seeing a shirt back then. Yeah. If you were walking in a boardwalk in Wildwood or anywhere, you would see NWO shirts every couple.
Yeah, I still have mine. I wear mine, like, like, I love it, dude. I think,
We're getting a little ahead because the Hulk came in as a red and yellow, a little ticker tape parade. It was very staged. Very staged.
Yes.
I didn't realize how staged it was. The fake reporter said, "You jumping over here is like when Joe Montana went to take it easy." But it was a little staged. Came in, did his red and yellow. I, for one, was very excited to finally see Hulk Hogan versus Ric Flair go at it.
Yeah.
Again in WCW. But then, as you said, what was really cool to me when the lines were blurred, when you saw Diesel and Razor Ramon on WWF, and the next thing you know, they're coming down the stands.
And they're Kevin Nash and Scott. Oh my God, wait a minute, they're using the real names. What are they using?
And it was great. With Bobby Heenan, remember, he's sitting there and he's looking, he puts his glasses on and he's grabbing Schiavone, and they're looking like, they couldn't believe they were there. And it was the coolest thing. To a wrestling nerd like myself, I was just so sorry. That was text from the Incredible Hulkamaniac. He said he was very happy to be on today. Yeah, so it was really like, to me, it blurred the lines. Joe, what did you think when you saw Scott Hall and Kevin Nash in WCW?
I thought it was a great blur of lines, but I like Razor Ramon. I didn't like the Scott Hall, Kevin Nash, but the best part of the NWO, my favorite part was when they lawn darted Rey Mysterio into the trailer.
Oh
That
my God. I thought he was dead.
was,
I mean, they lawn darted him right into the truck.
yep.
I thought he was dead. And the best night, because you guys were at my house. Do you remember?
Yes.
These guys were at my house.
Yes.
Before I bought it from my parents. I bought it from there. No. They were at my house, and it was Bash at the Beach.
Yes, in July.
July.
I think it was your birthday.
Oh, it might have been my birthday, July 16th.
I think
Yes, it
July
was. I had a
16th.
Bash at the Beach party, and the Hulkster, I remember, came down that aisle, and we're like, oh, Hulk's back. All right, here we go, baby. When he dropped that leg, Joey, I think you called it.
Yeah.
I think Joey called it. Joey said he's going to be the third man. I said, no way. And when he called it, and oh my God. Oh my
That
God.
was great. That was one of the greatest heel turns of all time. First of all,
In my book, it was the greatest.
I think the fan reaction, throwing stuff and all that was even better. Like I think, like you talk about, like like you just hit a home run when the fans are throwing stuff in the ring.
Remember Fanning got his ass beat?
Yeah, that was great. He got
I
stuck.
remember Mean Gene getting hit on the nose with a bottle.
He busted my buddy Mean Gene wide open, which I was very upset about.
Yeah.
But I loved it because after seeing the red and yellow start getting booed, I loved it when he told the fans to shove it up their ass. I thought it was the greatest thing ever. And then all of a sudden it went from red and yellow to black, and there was no stopping him for 84 weeks. And he can't deny it. The man in 1984 took wrestling to another height. Years later, he came in, took wrestling to another height. I mean, really, you can argue if it wasn't for NWO, it might not have been an Attitude Era.
Yeah.
I mean, they were that big and that influential. And remember him yelling at the old lady? That was one of my favorite interactions.
Not even Attitude. I mean, WWE was losing pretty bad during that period. Like they were losing, bleeding money. Right, they were not going to survive long term. So, like the NWO, like they had to counter it, and I don't know if wrestling doesn't exist the way it does today without that happening.
No.
Guys, I gotta let my dog out. She's at the door. I gotta go let the dog out real quick.
All right, you gonna come back?
Yep, be right back.
Folks, this is what we deal with on the Headlocks and Happy Hour. Joey's got to let his dog out. You know what? We're not stopping because this is what we do.
Yeah,
we're going to keep on moving.
Yeah.
Joey will join us when he comes back and lets the dog out. Hopefully it's not an hour because we'll be gone by that. We go to, it runs its course. NWO, like everything else, comes down. They have a red, they have a black. Next thing they go into all that. Hulk starts to have surgery problems, which my favorite surgery question he went in for was right up to my own heart because he asked the doctor, can I drink alcohol by tomorrow? Which I thought was the greatest surgery question ever. I would ask that same thing. Did you hear that?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. When he said, can I drink by tomorrow? So the Hulkster liked his beer. And his ego started getting really big, he said. Which, when you're playing a character that long, what do you think, Mark? It's something that's bound to happen.
Yeah, I mean, I think like you're a larger life persona. Right, you're a superstar at this point. Human nature is I mean, blurs the line who Terrible is and Hulk Hogan is. Are they the same guy, or is one enhanced version of the other? Like, I mean, that seems like a pretty common thing, right? Where you see like people successful, somehow their ego gets out of the way. You see normal people get out of the way. Oh, I got ego, but yeah.
Joey's back. How did the dog take a shit, Joe?
No, she just had to pee.
All right.
Did she sniff out the clandestine location?
No.
She still didn't say it yet. So anyway, Hulk starts going down. They do the finger poke of doom with Kevin Nash, which I thought was hilarious. If I bought a ticket to go there, I wouldn't think it was hilarious, but I thought it was hilarious to watch. Then they bring in
brother, we already got their money.
Brother, we already got their money. Let's just do a finger poke of doom. We're out of here. Then they bring in the territory killer, Vince Russo. What do you think of Vince Russo, Joe?
I used to like.
Bro, what do you think of Vince Russo, bro?
I I used to like him, but some of the stories now that he tells are like just like
Bro,
I
5
think
times.
yeah, that everything other word is bro, and I think that guy is just like
I think they should make a reality TV with Vince Russo, Bret Hart, that wrestling historian guy, and Jesse the Body.
And Jim Cornette.
And Jim Cornette, and throw him in an apartment, studio apartment, and just say like, "Hey, if you're looking for the angriest people in the world,
Yep.
like there you go."
There you are. And yeah, so he winds up coming in. I just think he disrespected a lot of legends, and that's why I didn't like Vince Russo. I mean, he might be a great guy. I don't know. I mean, he did a lot of good work, good writing, but I just didn't like how he disrespected the legendary guys. But Hulk's the better for it. He leaves, comes back home to WWE, and that's when it covers the great match against The Rock at WrestleMania, which you could argue is maybe one of the greatest matches of all time.
Yeah, I definitely think you're gonna put top 10. Absolutely, you put that in there.
What do you think, Joe? Top 10 match?
yeah, and that's a great story in itself, The Rock and Hogan, because the thing the day before they went in the ring to get everything like prepared, and Rock was talking to his dad, and he's like, "Don't say a word, don't say a word, just let Hogan carry the match," and that's what he did, and that's what happened. So, I
Hulk
mean,
was the king. This is why Stallone was on a movie one time. That's a great point you just brought up, Joe. Stallone was on a movie one time, and there was wrestlers in the movie. It wasn't Rocky, it was another movie. And apparently people were ragging on the wrestlers or 7-7. And Stallone stopped it and said, "These guys are the greatest improv actors you will ever meet in your life." Meaning not acting as far as they still get beat up, but they call that in the ring. There's no script. Back in the day, it was all called in the ring.
yeah,
I mean, you're going a mile a minute plus calling moves and do that. And I'm an entertainment guy. I love them, do acting and do comedy. That to me is brilliant beyond words. And that's why I always say they're the greatest entertainers in the world, in my book. Wrestlers, bar none. Takes us to episode 4, gentlemen. We're getting to the sad part of it. The last round for the Hulkster. And it opens up with him doing promos with his son, Nick, which, by the way, we didn't get into his kids. His son, Nick and Brooke, I thought he was a great dad. There's some family troubles there. I don't want to get into that because I'm not a part of their family. So, but I think he was a great dad from what I saw. Whatever they saw, I mean, Nick will tell you he's a great dad. You just see it. Brooke, I guess there's some problems there. I don't know, but I don't want to say nothing on that. But love seeing him behind the scenes with his kids and all that stuff. He's cutting promos now for his bar, Hogan's Hangout, which
Yeah.
our buddy Joe Spinks went to. Joe Spinks, shout out to Joey Spinks, Kira, Patty and Joey. They went there and got to meet Brooke and Hulk, and which I thought was really cool. And I remember those promos. I used to love seeing it because it was Hulk doing his thing and promoting his bar on Clearwater Beach, Tampa Bay, whatever the hell it was. And then it goes into his injuries. We're going to talk about his injuries extensively. This is a guy that it starts out with those needles in his back.
Yeah,
And how many needles were in there?
I think it was like four, wasn't it like 4 or something? Like
Small
4
of his
holes.
back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
he did that in the back too, in the back in the dressing room.
Yeah, before he could go on.
I mean, you could see that he like shrunk over time.
Mm-hmm. I was at an event in Allentown, Pennsylvania. It was Hulk Hogan and friends. With my buddy TJ, our buddy TJ, and Brian Knobs of the Nasty Boys. Get well soon, Brian. He's been going through a lot. I love Knobs. He's one of my all-time favorites. Knobs of the Nasty Boys, Sags. I forget who else was there. A bunch of wrestlers. Eric Bischoff. They're all telling stories. It was a great event. And Hulk was there. And Hulk came back, shook my hand, and there was no grip. I mean, none whatsoever. You could just tell, just from years of being beat up, and you know, he says the leg drop was a mistake. He should have did the super hold because the compressing on his spine every night just messed his back up for life. It's a hard sport, man. They beat themselves up, you know. And he was in WWE for a while there. Did the match with Shawn Michaels. Didn't like that match. I thought Michaels oversold, and it showed. and I think it was disrespectful. What did you guys think about that match?
I thought. I mean, I think Michael's oversold a lot, no matter what. So, I mean, don't get me wrong, he's one of the greatest of all time, but Michaels did oversell a lot. So, I think
Oversold.
that's who Sean was. I mean,
Yeah. But that one was like cartoonish. It was a little crazy. He kind of winds down that one. His last match was with Orton. I didn't even know that in WWE.
Yeah, I didn't know that
I
either.
remember that.
Yeah, yeah.
He got arcadoed on the car. I remember that one.
Yes, yes. And then we go in. It goes into the reality show, which I loved. Hogan Knows Best.
I did too. Yeah.
My favorite Hogan Knows Best episode is when Knobs comes and visits. I used to have it all the time. It was great. They go out, they get hammered. Knobs at 3 a.m. wants to watch WrestleMania 7. Hulk's trying to sleep with Linda.
I thought it's funny too, like being a dad of a daughter when he's talking about like the miniskirt. He's like, you have to wear an outfit you can go on a roller coaster with.
Yes.
I'm like, my man, I get it, dude. I get it. Yeah, that's funny.
Goes into a lot of the stuff that happened with him, with his wife. I don't want to really get into any of that stuff. But he got divorced. His wife must love blonde hair because he's sleeping with Brooke's friend. Talk about an eye for an eye. She sleeps with Nick's friend. He sleeps with Brooke's friend first, then she sleeps with Nick's friend. Nick's friend's hair is the same as Hulk's. It's long and blonde. I'm like, then they're riding on his boat in front of him.
That's his fault.
Yeah, it's just a horrible. It was a horrible thing and a horrible time apparently for him. You know, we talk a lot about mental. I know I talk a lot about mental health because it's a serious thing, and he started going through a lot of it. They were saying he was drinking a fistful of pills, quart of vodka a day.
Yeah. I was never really a Bischoff guy, but it was cool to see Bischoff. Like, I never not liked the guy, but like just kind of indifferent. But it was cool to see that him go down to Florida to help his friend out and all that. That was And speaking of a guy, dude, that guy got jacked in his old age. Jeez.
Bischoff is jacked now. Yes, he is. You know, we're not guys, but he's jacked. He looks good. What about you, Joe? What do you think, Bischoff? You always liked Bischoff.
Yeah, I thought he did a lot for he was one of the reasons why they beat the WWE for all those times. So I like Eric. I thought a lot of them though in the end of that episode. I don't know if you guys saw the same thing. I thought like some of the people were taking like little shots at him, and I didn't like that, like little innuendo shots.
Well, you know what's funny?
I didn't like that part.
I thought that too, but then I saw Kevin Nash's podcast. Click This, it's called. It's a great podcast. Check it out. With Sean Oliver, who's a very funny guy as the host. But Kevin talked about how he felt bad because he felt like an asshole because he said the line he said he had a couple hours of footage and they cut it out and they only put like little snippets in. So the line that made it was, I never was a fan of wrestling. When I saw Hulk, I said, oh, I'm more athletic than him. I'm bigger than him. I could do this. He said, that's not the full line I said. What he said was he was in an arena, and when he saw how electric Hulk was when he came out, that's when he wanted to do it. He was, but then he added that, and they only put that in. So you just never know what they're putting in.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. They edited it. Yeah,
they could. Yeah, it just could be the way they edited it, and just they couldn't keep everything in. But apparently, the director said there is enough footage for another documentary.
Wow.
Fox. I don't know if they're going to do anything with it. Hulk goes to TNA. He's really down and out.
Jesus.
He had a gun to his face. He was ready to off himself. Thank God he did not. Nothing's worth that. And if you're thinking about that, or if you're, please get help because it's not worth that. But Eric Bischoff goes down and puts a thing together for TNA. He goes to TNA, which was not a good run.
No.
Get to see any of the matches in TNA? I saw one live at the Core Center at Temple. Wasn't good. He couldn't really move well. He bled a lot because I think that's all he could really do.
Yeah, him and Flair did the same thing. When Flair was there, he bled a lot.
Yeah. And apparently this was, I had to write this down because this to me was insane. Just to go through, Eric Bischoff had to go get him out of bed, put him in the shower.
Yeah.
Couldn't get up with his back. He was taking 80 milligrams of fentanyl, 2 in the morning, stuffing under his gums.
Yeah.
2 300 milligram patches of fentanyl under his knees, and 6 1,500 milligram lollipops to eat, just to keep going. And the pharmacist said he should be dead. That no man, no person should be able to be doing that.
No.
Insane.
There's a couple things insane there. First, that amount, like, I mean, whoever decided ever to make fentanyl lollipops, like, they should revoke your medical license. That's insane. Fentanyl lollipops, but yeah, I mean that's insane. But that goes to show
It is nuts. I mean, I bought a couple for later, but
all right, we're gonna try one. All right, well, yeah, we're gonna do an episode review. Yeah, we'll be in K&A under the bridge doing fentanyl lollipops.
For those of you who don't know, explain to the audience what K&A is.
Kensington Alligator. They're known as like, it's like the fentanyl capital of the world.
Oh.
But yeah.
There's here's a
If you want
cheap
to
pop.
see human zombies, go down that.
Here's a cheap pop though. There's a great barber shop underneath our bridge too. Just letting you know.
Joey loves the barbers under there. Look at his hair,
Yeah.
as you can tell.
A $5 haircut's worth seeing a human zombie knock yourself out.
So after that, he goes in. I mean, he's got the sex tape. I love how he's meeting with Jeremy Borash and goes, "Yeah, I got a sex tape coming out." I mean, it's just a matter of fact. Has that, which you're at your friend's house. And look, I'm not going to get into his friend. His friend has a show, and I'm
yeah.
not a fan of him. But anyway, he has the sex tape. Gets released to Gawker. Somehow gets released. And it's embarrassing. You know, it's a horrible thing. I mean, I have a lot of sex tapes. There's no women in them. But it's just me. No, I'm kidding. But, I mean, you know, he just a horrible thing. Gets out to Gawker, but wins a lot of money.
Yeah.
Gets a lot of money.
Yeah.
I don't know if he saw every dollar of that, but he probably would have saw a chunk. Because I'm guessing Gawker would have had to declare bankruptcy after that, but he probably would have got something from that.
And obviously, there's other stuff on the tape. He said some things he shouldn't have said in private. Horrible thing, but the guy apologized. I don't know about you guys. I don't judge people on their worst moment. I don't care. You know, I'm a guy who I make the most mistakes out of everybody. That's what I always say, because I don't judge anybody. If I think you're a good person, if you apologize, I'm over it. How many dumb things have I done? I apologize, Mark, for the joke. I'm over it. It's over. I don't judge you on that one thing. You know what I mean? And I still love the guy. When it happened, I was like, oh, God. You know, what was your reaction, guys? I don't even know. I don't really want to stay on this much, but
Yeah, same thing, right? Like, I just, people make mistakes. He's human like everybody else. I know we put people on a pedestal, but makes mistakes. His life is more in the spotlight than ours. The fact that, everybody has a camera now, right? Makes reliving your worst moments easy, I guess.
thank
now.
God
So,
there was no camera.
thank God, yeah, exactly. So, but yeah, again, like I'm the same way. I don't judge it on your worst moments.
What about you, Joe?
Not, yeah.
Well, I said it in the beginning before we talked about it. I said everybody makes mistakes, and I like I said, I think everybody makes mistakes, and I still think he overall is just he was generally a good guy, and that's my opinion on that.
Don't really talk about his second wife much. By the way, Triple H said he didn't fire Hulk Hogan. I mean, Terry Bollea he didn't fire Hulk Hogan. He fired Terry Bollea. He fired Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, I mean, I was really disappointed in that.
Hunter,
I was really disappointed in that. Like,
I get why they did it. I get why they had to do it. But you fired Hulk Hogan. Just saying.
yeah, I thought, I mean, I just thought that was a stupid line and just disappointed.
Anyway, he's still going. Comes out with a Real American beer. They talk about his beautiful wife Sky, who's gorgeous. He gets gorgeous blondes. I agree with that. But anyway, beautiful wife Sky. Real American beer does one last tour, which I think he almost knew something was coming. I mean, he does this tour to meet the fans. Back's killing him, but he's still out there meeting them.
Yeah.
And goes to Raw in LA, gets booed. I'm going to say it right now. I don't give a shit. I'm going to say it right now. It was a blue state. Okay. Had nothing to do with his mistakes and nothing to do with anything else. I'm not a politics guy. I hate all politicians. I'm not a big fan of them. But let's be honest, what it was. Because he came back after he said all the mistakes he made. He was inducted back into the Hall of Fame with the NWO, was not booed. He came out of San Francisco WrestleMania, was not booed with the NWO. Am I correct? He came back to host WrestleMania in Tampa. I mean, there might have been a smidgering of boos. I don't know. But he was, and people say, what about Taker and Kane? They followed. Yeah, but they didn't rip their shirt off, and they were on Jesse Waters every week. I mean, Hulk, like his politics, so they booed him. It is what it is. Not Natty and Hunter said, "Oh, it was his mistakes." No, it was, and you can say whatever you want. I really don't care. I have my opinion. I know why. What do you think, Mark?
No, yeah, I definitely agree.
Joe,
I think it's funny you say California is blue. They're like aqua at this point. Like, I just think I think honestly, like, tough day, right? It's the launch of the Netflix episode in LA, but probably could have read the room better and been like, hey, he's probably not going to get the reaction. But I don't know. Maybe that's what they were aiming for. Who knows? But Natalie, do me a favor. Don't become bitter like your uncle.
That is awesome. That is awesome. Right, Joe?
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Chris. I mean, like you said, it's a blue state. He goes to Florida. It's red. Look, whoever you support is who you support. Like
Right.
the guy
We don't
did,
care who you support. We love you no matter what. Whoever you
And
support, we love you. God bless you.
and it had nothing to do with politics. What he did for wrestling is
Yes.
what they should have cheered on him, not for what they don't like his politics or whatever it was. I just thought the whole thing was stupid.
Right. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm.
And then from there it goes to the sad part where we lost him. July of 2025, I was in my hotel room. I was getting ready to do a show at the Borgata in Atlantic City, where I did a show for many, many years. I don't like to plug myself. By the way, I'll be in Milton, Delaware on May 26th. If you want to come out and see me at the old Milton Theater. Is that Saturday? Look that up. You want to come out and see me at the old Milton Theater in Milton, Delaware. Anyway, let's get back to this.
That is May 26th, a Tuesday.
No, it's whatever that Saturday is. Give me that Saturday.
That would be
the
30th.
The 23rd or the 30th.
Yeah, the May the 23rd. Anyway, I shouldn't
That's
be plugging
Memorial
this.
Day weekend.
Yeah, I'll
That's
be down in
Memorial Day
Milton,
weekend.
Delaware. Come see me down there.
So just to let you know, we'll be releasing another episode 5 will be coming out that weekend.
That weekend, that's right.
There you go.
But so they get into the sad part where he passes away and we lose the Hulkster. And Jesse Ventura said in it that was the end of his era. The book was closed. And that's how I felt. I felt like it was the end of my childhood. I felt like my childhood literally closed that day. It was done. Just the last piece. And I saw Duggan crying. As you said, I was bawling.
Yeah, I mean, when I saw Hacksaw, that kind of like it definitely broke my heart. Yeah, it definitely is like a piece of your childhood dying, like right, like we're kidding. We're 40s, and you know what I mean. Like it's kind of like that closing the door chapter, right? Like you kind of think he's immortal, right? You just seen him on TV. He was doing the tour. I think we were buying his beer, and then that it's just a shame. And then you kind of hear the thing that he wrote in to recover from his spinal surgery, and it's kind of downhill from that. It's just a shame.
Sad thing. And Vince McMahon in the end giving me his final standing ovation at the funeral, which I thought was amazing. Really, really put a nice end and nice bow to it, to the end of the Hulk Hogan Real American documentary. Guys, if you didn't see this documentary, please go to Netflix, check it out. Netflix does a great job, and this documentary I thought was all around amazing. It went into his highs, his lows, and I don't think he shied away from anything. So, what are your final thoughts on this, Joseph? What's your final thoughts? What do you give? How many stars?
9 out of 10. Yeah. I just thought it was just like I said in the beginning. I thought it showed more of who he was as a person. I just think he was just an all around great guy.
Right.
And I think that came out in that and that's how I took it.
What about you, Mark? What do you give it?
So I think I think we had to do a wrestling theme. So instead of stars, we had to do body slams.
Yes.
I would also give it. I'm gonna say no. I would say I'd give it nine body slams. Yeah, I'd definitely give it 9 body slams.
9 body slams.
Yeah, I just don't think they just thought they did a tremendous job. Netflix does a really good job with all their documentaries. And I just thought it's cool. Like, and honestly, like, I just think from a nostalgic standpoint, it's neat seeing that the old wrestling and flashbacks of like when I was a kid, right, watching it and all and seeing that. So like, I enjoyed that. Yeah.
Mark, can you get my shot? Can I have my shot for my final shot? I'm gonna give this. You know what? I laughed. I cried. I'm going full 10 body slams on this one. And I think it should just be because I love the Hulkster so much. Just thank you for an unbelievable childhood, an unbelievable life, Hulk. We love you. And stay tuned to please subscribe, by the way. We really need some subscribers. And coming up, we're not going to tell you who it is, but very soon we're going to have a very special guest on here that we are super pumped to have on. He's a legend, and he is an appropriate first guest for this podcast. I couldn't think of a better first guest to have. And he will be on shortly. We're not sure what episode yet. Once we work it out with his people, he will be in the watering hole, and we can't wait to talk to him. But for now,
Real quick, though, everybody, before we do this, like Chris said, like, please subscribe. I'm saying this so we can carve it out as a clip and send it off. But, like, you guys helping us subscribe allows us to grow the audience. And to Chris's point, we have a great first guest that allows us to keep knocking out the park out with other guests.
that's right. And so here you are, Hulkster. We love you, brother. Thanks for everything. God bless.
Joe, thanks for joining us.
Thanks for joining us, Joe. Keep looking
Thank
for
you.
the Nessa location. See you next time on Headlocks and Happy Hour.